Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and let's get back to Overlord Raising Hell. So, I did the Puff Beetle several times to get my greens up to 500 or thereabout, and then I did all the undead creatures we've fought, which unlocked the undead challenge, and then I did the undead challenge. Mostly easy. Oh, I'm up to 600 greens, so we should have plenty of greens now to take on the final boss. So hopefully this time we can get it done. Okay, so all I have to do, I hope, is just go here to the Infernal Abyss. I've changed my armor back to my standard armor. Okay, this isn't terrible. It's not particularly great, but it's not terrible. Or maybe this is particularly great. Oh yeah, this is right here in the fight. So was this what he was summoning is the question at the end. And if that's what he was summoning...
My name was spoken in whispers. It brought dread to this land. Now that petulant goddess wishes my name lost in the mists of time. No more! I will awaken their
His mask
nightmares.
looks kind of like the Overlord's mask.
Memories. They will remember me, and they will remember what they feared.
So do we need a full contingency here? Not really. But we'll try to play this. We're trying to get them to attack without killing too many of them.
All that will be remembered is that I destroyed you.
So I want to do a little bit of damage that way. So that's like phase 1. And I don't think there's anything we can do here. He destroyed it. Okay, this makes no sense. This literally makes no sense now.
My name will once again strike terror in the hearts of all creatures.
So this makes no sense. We gotta convince him to attack this way. Here, no. We gotta convince him to come this way. Like, that was waste there. Maybe we can convince him to attack this. Oh, what is my life doing so low? That's just totally unfair. These guys suck. Oh, this guy sucks so bad.
Are you seeking to amuse me with your squashy little army?
Take him out. Well, that didn't work. What is the deal? why could we get him to break the thing that time, and we haven't been able to get him to do that since.
All that will
Or
be
before.
remembered is that I destroyed you.
It's like, alright, so that gets him to that point. Alright, and that doesn't work. So we'll do the... There you go. It does sound like one of the minions is saying "God damn it" all the time, just throughout this whole game, and I'm willing to believe that's exactly what they said. I don't know if the makers of this game just didn't think that that would come up as a potential problem, because it gets said a lot, and frankly, I don't recall very many video games saying that phrase much at all, and if they are going to say it, they're going to use it to be impactful and not just as a random background random background sound. There you go. Convince them. Still going. Alright.
Your death will be my rebirth, little one.
Like, when I sweep these guys, I can't get them to push this over here. That is part of it. Don't hurt me, take out the minions. I don't care how many minions you kill. And he just fades back into the picture, huh? What? He's got like a tornado attack now. Oh, usually you don't hear "God damn it." They usually will either say "damn it" or the F word. I don't know if they. I don't think there's really any actual restrictions. It might very well have been the F word would have gotten them a rated M for mature, and they went with "God damn it" out of protest. It's much worse now though, because that's just not a phrase that gets used much at all. the F word is by far much more favored these days. I killed all those guys.
You do not know the true meaning of evil.
Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Get on him. Seems like some of my guys are coming out of these holes. I don't know why or what the deal is with that. Alright. This way. You gonna... I've used all my magic spells. We're halfway down on his health, but I don't feel like any of that was really from... Let's see. I feel like the only reason his health was low is because we convinced him to hit part of that area, and now we're trying to convince him.
Your death will be my rebirth, little one.
See, the guys are just coming back to that point. Alright. Everybody here. Hey, that hit it, and it's still not enough. We need what's his name to come back. I don't need to get in there and try to fight. Is there something I'm missing? If I sweep these guys this way, I don't think there's anything more that direction. All the way. Finally.
Your death will be my rebirth, little one.
So it's just buggy trying to get that to work. Now if I can convince... Is he going? Hit it! Alright. So one of the rocks disappears and falls through him. The other rock hits him and stabs him. That makes no sense. I don't care. Let's end this.
Your death was meant to free me. You want the infernal abyss? Take it. May it be your eternal prison.
Hello? Hello? Sire? Are you there? I'm getting some kind of interference. If you can hear me, Master, get the biscuit. I have seen evil masters come and go. Exploded, disintegrated, immolated. Even one time eaten by a giant weasel. But I admit, I had a soft spot for this last one. He may still find a way to escape the infernal abyss. But we may have to find a new master. Well, evil always finds a way.
Oh, an evil baby. So, there's gotta be two endings there, because you could have picked Rose, and then you would have seen a pregnant Rose, but that's not that hard to animate two things. That jester, we should have killed him long ago. It's funny, if you could have actually killed him right at the beginning tutorial when you were fighting him, it would have solved you so much trouble. Again, we're looking at the credits in the worst possible way here with just the black screen, which is so silly because when they do the tower in the background, it works so much better. It looks so much nicer. I liked Overlord. I liked the general concept of the Raising Hell DLC adding a little bit more. I didn't like, let's see, I would say slightly over half of the boss fights and challenges in Raising Hell. So in general, I would say no, don't get the Raising Hell DLC. But if you're gonna get Overlord in 2015, you're gonna probably get it on sale. You're gonna get it in the Overlord bundle where you get Overlord 1, the Raising Hell DLC, and Overlord 2. And I would probably say try playing this game with the Raising Hell DLC from the beginning. See if that turns anything around. Although the way that kind of ended indicates that we probably couldn't have done all of that until after we'd killed the wizard. We may not have been able to do any of it until after we killed the wizard. The Raising Hell DLC does not change any of the regular game areas. It just adds the gates and takes you to some small areas, very small. I liked the concept of the play, although it was kind of repetitive since I had to do it 3 times for a really dumb reason. I liked the golf thing. I liked the concept of the Pong with Melvin. It just was implemented terribly. Many times here, it's just like they didn't get it polished enough. This is the most unpolished DLC I have seen in a very long time. I mean, I would not pay for this. If after having played for it, I would not pay a lot for it. I'm talking maybe $1 or $2 at most. It doesn't add a ton to the game. The harvesting helmet is a slightly interesting thought. I like the new ending uh, because now you kind of know what's going to happen in Overlord 2, and it's going to be a family affair, which it already kind of was, because the Overlord before me, who was in the evil wizard's body, was the father of Velvet and Rose. So I technically married into the evil family business there. Uh, and this Overlord is not out of the picture completely. He just has to figure out a way to use uh, his new army to build a new gate, which isn't beyond the realm of possibility in the story. It's very possible. Uh, I guess the Mother Goddess thing works well, because then you securely put this that this is not like a Christian world with a Yahweh or Elohim type god or Christian god. It's totally going to be um, its own story. No New Game Plus, which I don't know if that really would help anything. Uh, they certainly could have done this in a different way, where the enemies got stronger and leveled up and had levels, and then as you played, you leveled up. Try to go in that concept, so you might have wanted to play the story more than once, but since that's not the case. Uh, so when we continue, we are back to this point. Here is the unpregnant Velvet. Uh, the Overlord must be very powerful if he can impregnate his wife with one mating. one romantic scene. Although maybe there was just a lot more that was happening off screen when I wasn't paying attention. I kind of wish the weapons were on the wall, but I love this decorating concept. It's a little thing that would not be obvious in the game. Is the Jester here? Or did he disappear after I beat the wizard, or did he disappear once I installed the Raising Hell DLC? Because he's not here anymore. He's not.
I miss Spree.
Aw, she misses Spree. So this DLC slightly, just ever so slightly, adds something to Overlord, and I liked Overlord. So,
Darling, shouldn't you be all finding me shiny things?
Let's see, we got way too much gold. She should be happy with all the gold I have now. At this point, I'm glad I played Overlord. I'd never played the Raising Hell. I'm glad I played it once. Whenever I have free time, not anytime soon, so 6 months to a year plus, I will probably give thoughts to playing Overlord with the Raising Hell DLC for a full 100% non-corruption, or to say that correctly, a 0% corruption run, and get that ending. Play as the good guy, the hero, and try to get that ending. It's not really worth it to play it that way, but if I have free time, this is a game that is fun enough to consider something like that. Playing this 3 times? No. There's no reason to play this 3 times. So, that's going to be it for this series. We're ending a little short. There's not a lot to say. I like that video game creators experiment, and every single level and abyss we saw was some kind of an experiment. It's just none of it was brought to a sellable level. I mean, this is most half of it at least. I'm conflicted here, obviously. At least half of the content in this DLC should have been left on the cutting room floor. Much like in movies, very rarely is watching the unedited, extended, uncut edition of a movie the actual good, best experience. The editing is there for a reason in either making movies or telling stories or any creative venture. There you leave some ideas on the floor. They lead you to better ideas. Uh, they get left out and make it a better experience, a smoother experience. This was a short game, less than 30 hours by itself. Overlord, the Raising Hell, probably knocks it just up to 33, 35 hours, and it gives some more story, I suppose, but not really where you needed it. The story really needed to be at the beginning of the game. Uh, So we'll just go ahead and exit and watch our tower as as we're wrapping up here. Uh, the multiplayer split screens doesn't need to be in the game at all. That's such an old-fashioned thought that every game has to have multiplayer. This game absolutely shouldn't have multiplayer because you can't implement it. If they had been left to their own devices and not made a split screen, not made a multiplayer, which I assume the multiplayer is online multiplayer and the split screen is local multiplayer, which they don't even do local multiplayer much at all anymore. It's just very, very superfluous. It seems like a waste. The fact that the credits look so much better when you click it on the menu is a waste. I mean, why couldn't they have just loaded to this screen after the credits? The fact that the Abyss Stones went to the desert wasn't explained. There was several things that came up that weren't explained, and we were sitting there just scratching our head going, what's going on? What am I supposed to be doing? The final boss battle, very much in that case, where it was buggy and we weren't getting an explanation. So much could have been done. This game is prime for, I think, a remake. If they polished this story up and took the major elements, fixed the things that didn't really work, you could do Overlord and Overlord Raising Hell. That's two pretty good stories that sort of connect. We still have the mystery of Jewel. I assume she'll show up in Overlord 2, which I will be playing sometime. Rest assured that I will play Overlord 2 before I play Overlord 1 a second time. That will be the next thing. By this point of watching this, I'm sure Fellowship of Evil is out, Overlord Fellowship of Evil, which is a spin-off game where the gameplay is not going to be exactly like this. It's more a 4-player top-down dungeon crawler like Diablo. But there's some minions in it too, but I don't think you're going to have as much control of the minions as the Overlord does. And I hope it is the door opening for an Overlord 3. Because I like the story, and you don't get to play as just a potentially purely evil character in video games. Surprisingly enough, most people would think you do, but you really don't. More often than not, you can be a conflicted hero, you can be a dark hero, but you still have to be the hero. Very rarely do you get to play as the complete anti-hero, or I don't even know if anti-hero is the right phrase. Let me know in the comments. Just the complete evil playthrough and get rewarded for it. Usually most games will not reward you. BioShock is a great example where if you played BioShock 1 and took the evil choices, you were severely punished for it, and you probably need to go seek out therapy if you actually picked that choice. Uh, it's not like it rewarded you, and it wouldn't have been fun. I also love that this is cartoony. This would totally go the wrong direction if they had made it a mature rated game. They could go slightly mature with it, but I think by restraining themselves, much like editing, by restraining yourself to T plus, you really think about how you're trying to play this out. This is cartoony violence, not uh, uh, lifelike violence. Uh, I can't help but feel like I'm saying the same things I said before when I wrapped up Overlord Raising Hell. Uh, so let's just wrap this up, and it will be a short episode. There's nothing more to say. It's overall Raising Hell is a meh. Probably you're gonna get it anyways, so you're probably worth playing it. I wouldn't pay too much extra money to have it. So, anywho, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. Also, pray that I never have to do another mowing minigame in a game ever again. That was a nightmare. I am never gonna forget that minigame. That was horrible. Uh, the other thing you can do is click on my name, Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. Click on that playlist tab and see all those other video games I've covered. Watch some of those. Wow, they're crediting somebody for making a font. Interesting. They paid somebody to make a font. That's really, really old. Also, from my main YouTube page on the right is a blue button that says support this channel. This really is the only thing I do. This is my career. I hope you appreciate it. Any amount you donate would be greatly appreciated. Even $1 can sometimes get me a game when the Steam summer sales come by. You can friend me on Steam to see all the games I have, and if you have duplicates and know how to gift them, you can certainly try to gift me games. That would be helpful too. I do a lot of games, so I need a lot of games to cover, and I want to eventually work my way to covering all the old ones so I can focus fully on the new ones, assuming that there are enough new ones worth covering. And then finally, I need people to friend and follow me on social media sites like Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus, and friend me on Steam and Battle.net, and Tumblr also. Basically, the more followers I have on Facebook and Twitter, the more businesses take me serious as a video game critic and reviewer. If I go tell somebody I have 100 Twitter followers, they would just laugh in my face. If I go tell them I have 1 million Twitter followers, then their ears perk up and they start listening. And that might help me get more access to games earlier, or perhaps more in-depth information or something else. So it just helps me grow my my brand as it is, and it's not just for me too. When you follow me on those services, you know exactly when I get new videos out. I release new videos every Monday through Friday, but if you want to know the second they're ready, that's how you can do it. So that is it, and that's all I really have to say. So I will just say thank you for watching one last time, stay tuned. We will have another game coming up right at this time tomorrow, or unless this is Friday, Monday. I don't know. I record all these way in advance. Uh, so stay tuned. It won't be another Overlord game, but it will be something interesting. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.